Welcome to Starlight Sci-Fi, where imagination meets the infinite expanse of space. Prepare for a journey to the edge of possibility. Imagine being cast out from your home world to a place deemed uninhabitable, a world of storms, predators, and endless danger. But instead of perishing, you rise, stronger than ever, turning the exile into your greatest triumph. This is the story of humanity's accidental ascension to interstellar dominance. The Galactic Concord was the shining beacon of interstellar unity, a coalition of advanced civilizations bound by strict principles, harmony, sustainability, and mutual respect. For millennia, it had maintained peace across countless star systems, ensuring no species disrupted the delicate balance of the cosmos. When humanity emerged as a new member of this vast intergalactic community, the Concord watched with both curiosity and concern. Humans, despite their relatively short time as a spacefaring civilization, had a reputation that rippled through the galactic archives. They were ambitious, inventive, and fiercely independent, but they were also reckless, prone to conflict, and deeply exploitative of their home planet's resources. Where other species sought balance, humanity often sought domination. Earth bore the scars of this mindset, oceans polluted, forests razed, and species driven to extinction. It was a microcosm of the destructive potential the conquered feared might spill into the galaxy. At first, the Concord issued warnings. Earth's leaders were summoned to grand assemblies where they were reminded of the delicate ecosystems that held the galaxy together. Reports of over-extraction of off-world minerals, territorial disputes in unclaimed sectors, and disregard for the shared laws of the Concord only increased. Humanity, it seemed, could not or would not adapt to the cooperative ethos that bound the stars together. Tensions reached a breaking point when a mining operation sanctioned by Earth devastated a moon sacred to the Tellurians, one of the Concord's founding members. The event sent shockwaves through the galactic community. Debates raged within the Concord Council, where humanity's defenders grew fewer with each passing violation. Finally, the Council voted. The verdict was clear. Humanity had become too dangerous to remain within the fold. Extermination was proposed by some, but even in its darkest moments, the Concord clung to its ideals. Instead, they chose exile. Humanity would be relocated to Erythra, a Class X death world on the edge of explored space. The decision was calculated, and to many it seemed merciful. No species had survived more than a few years on Erythra. Its violent storms could shear apart mountains. Its predators evolved to kill with horrifying efficiency. The planet's toxic air would corrode unprotected lungs, and its volatile ecosystem allowed no margin for error. The exile was swift and absolute. Ships bearing millions of humans descended on Erythra, depositing them with minimal supplies before leaving the system forever. The Congress broadcast the event galaxy-wide as a solemn lesson: harmony or extinction. For the Council, this marked the end of humanity's story. But what the Concord saw as an ending was, unbeknownst to them, the beginning of something extraordinary. Erythra's skies were a permanent tempest, a swirling cacophony of lightning and ash-colored clouds that illuminated a landscape of nightmares. The air was laced with toxins that corroded flesh. The ground was jagged and unstable, and the temperature swung wildly between searing heat and bone-chilling cold. Towering plant-like organisms oozed acidic sap, and predators lurked in every shadow, each more terrifying than the last. To the Galactic Concord, this planet had been the perfect sentence for humanity. Inhospitable, unyielding, and utterly devoid of hope. The first weeks were nothing short of catastrophic. Entire settlements were obliterated by sudden storms, while others fell to the relentless onslaught of Erythra's native creatures. The humans' meager supplies dwindled quickly, and panic spread like wildfire. Millions perished within the first month, their bodies claimed by the merciless planet. But humanity, unlike any other species the Conqueror had encountered, was accustomed to fighting against insurmountable odds. Survival instincts, honed through millennia of Earth's own challenges, kicked in. Those who had grown up navigating Earth's extremes, deserts, jungles, tundras, led the way in identifying patterns within Erythra's chaos. They began to understand the rhythms of the storms, the migration paths of predators, and the chemical compositions of the air and soil. Small victories emerged. Shelters reinforced with scavenged materials survived tempests, and the first oxygen farms, crude but functional, began to filter the planet's atmosphere into breathable air. The predators of Erythra, deadly and relentless, forced humanity to innovate. The humans turned their adaptability into a weapon, creating traps, fortifications, and weapons from the very environment designed to kill them. They studied their enemies, learning to exploit weaknesses in their biology. Even the monstrous plants, with their toxic excretions, were harvested and refined into medicines and repellents. Every threat became an opportunity. It wasn't just survival, it was transformation. Under the constant pressure of Erythra's hostility, humanity's scattered groups came together. Old divisions, like nations and factions, faded away in the face of a singular purpose: enduring the death world. Unity gave rise to progress. Engineers developed geothermal energy systems powered by Erythra's volcanic activity, while biologists unlocked the secrets of its flora and fauna, converting the planet's dangers into invaluable resources. Every day was a struggle, but it was also a triumph. Humanity had arrived on Erythra as a fractured and beleaguered species, unprepared for the challenges it faced. Yet, with each passing day, they grew stronger. Erythra wasn't killing them, it was forging them. What the Concord had intended as a death sentence was rapidly becoming a crucible for the emergence of something entirely new. Erythra's merciless environment did more than test humanity's endurance. It pushed the very boundaries of their biology and ingenuity. Life on this death world was a relentless trial, but from this trial, humans began to change in ways no one could have predicted. Evolution, typically a slow and incremental process, was accelerated by the planet's constant pressures. Generations after generations of humans born on Erythra exhibited subtle but profound adaptations that would forever distinguish them from their ancestors on Earth. The toxic air, once a death sentence for unprotected lungs, forced humanity to evolve. The survivors who thrived had lungs capable of filtering harmful particulates and processing trace amounts of oxygen more efficiently. Over time, entire communities exhibited this trait, their bodies adapting to extract life from an environment designed to destroy it. Meanwhile, exposure to Erythra's radiation fields triggered genetic mutations. What initially caused sickness and deformities in the early generations became in later ones the source of resilience. Skin grew resistant to radiation burns, and cellular repair mechanisms became unusually robust. Humans were no longer merely enduring the planet, they were beginning to conquer it from within. Alongside their biological adaptations, humanity's technological advancements accelerated at a breakneck pace. On Erythra, innovation wasn't a luxury, it was survival. The planet's rich mineral deposits, which included elements previously unknown to humans, became the foundation for new alloys, energy sources, and biochemical compounds. The discovery of a substance they named vultranite, a hyperconductive mineral buried deep in Erythra's crust, revolutionized their energy systems. It powered their machines, shielded their settlements, and became the core of a burgeoning technological renaissance. Human culture shifted alongside their bodies and tools. The constant fight for survival forged a new identity, one of unity and shared purpose. The divisions of Earth faded into myth. Old nationalities, ideologies, and conflicts held no meaning on a world where survival depended on collaboration. The humans of Erythra began to call themselves Erythrans, a term that symbolized their transformation. They were no longer exiles. They were something entirely new, forged in the crucible of the galaxy's most hostile world. Erythrans didn't just adapt to Erythra, they began to master it. Settlements grew into cities, protected by force fields, powered by geothermal energy. The once chaotic landscape was slowly reshaped as humans cultivated safe zones and harnessed the planet's harsh conditions to their advantage. Where storms had once destroyed, now they were harvested for energy. Where predators had ruled, humans now dominated with weapons crafted from their own biology. The conquered had cast humanity into a death world, expecting their extinction. Instead, humanity had taken the tools of their destruction and built a future. On Erythra, humans were evolving into something greater, their transformation unstoppable, their potential limitless. For a century, Erythra remained shrouded in mystery. The Galactic Concord assumed the exile had ended, as expected, with humanity quietly succumbing to the planet's merciless environment. No probes were sent to confirm their fate. No resources were wasted monitoring the inevitable. Erythra became a cautionary tale. The exile broadcast faded into history, and the galaxy moved on. But humanity was far from gone. The first signs of their survival came as whispers, subtle anomalies that reached the Concord's ears through distant trade networks. An unregistered signal had been detected emanating from Erythra sector, a rhythmic, almost mechanical pulse that repeated at precise intervals. At first, it was dismissed as interference, or the dying gasp of human technology finally failing. But then came the report that shocked the galaxy. An alien cargo vessel, skirting close to Erythra's star system, had picked up unmistakable traces of refined vultranite, a resource that no known species could have processed on such a desolate world. The Conqueror sent a reconnaissance probe, expecting to find little more than remnants of humanity's doomed settlements. What it found instead stunned the Council. The images transmitted back showed towering cities encased in shimmering protective domes, their lights piercing the darkness of Erythra's endless storms. Massive energy arrays drew power from volcanic fissures, and fleets of spacecraft, sleek, angular, and distinctly human, moved purposefully through the skies. Humanity had not only survived, but thrived. Erythra, the planet meant to be their tomb, had become their cradle of rebirth. The technological advancements the Concord observed were unlike anything they had anticipated. The once disparate human colonies had unified into a single, formidable civilization. Their ships, seemingly impervious to the storms, were powered by the abundant Voltronite they had mastered. Their cities were bastions of ingenuity, shielded against the toxic atmosphere and reinforced to withstand any predator or storm. When the first Concord emissaries arrived, they were met not with desperation or pleas for mercy, but with confidence. The Erythrans allowed the emissaries to enter a neutral zone, showing them just enough to send a clear message to the galaxy. Humanity was no longer the fragile, scattered race it had been a century ago. They had become something new, something formidable. The Concord returned to their council chambers in shock and disbelief. The exile, intended as a humane punishment, had backfired in spectacular fashion. What they had believed to be a graveyard was, instead, the birthplace of a rising superpower. Humanity had stepped beyond survival. They were now ready to step back into the galaxy on their terms. The return of humanity to the galactic stage was nothing short of monumental. Word of their survival spread rapidly across the galaxy, sparking equal parts admiration, fear, and disbelief. Species that had long dismissed humanity as an impulsive, self-destructive anomaly were now forced to confront an undeniable truth. The exiles of Erythra had emerged stronger than anyone could have anticipated. The Erythrans were unlike the humans of Earth in every conceivable way. Centuries of struggling against Erythrans' hostility had refined them into a singularly resilient and ingenious people. Their technological advancements rivaled and in some cases surpassed those of the Galactic's Concord's most advanced civilization. The ships that emerged from Erythran space were not just built for exploration. They were forged for survival in the harshest environments imaginable. Capable of enduring radiation storms, gravitational anomalies, and extreme temperatures, these vessels could traverse regions of space other species considered impassable. Erythanes began to make calculated moves into the galaxy. They sought no wars and claimed no vengeance for their exile. Instead, they approached fringe civilizations with trade proposals, offering resources that had been impossible to harvest on any other planet. Voltronite, in particular, became a cornerstone of their power. Its near-limitless energy potential revolutionized interstellar engines, weapon systems, and power grids. No other species had been able to refine it as efficiently, making it one of the galaxy's most valuable commodities. Trade agreements grew into alliances. The Erythrans shared knowledge selectively, winning favor with smaller civilizations wary of the Concord's dominance. To those on the outskirts of galactic society, humanity's rise was an inspiration, proof that even the condemned could find a way to thrive. Their reputation as unyielding survivors earned them allies among the galaxy's marginalized and outcasts, creating a vast network of influence that extended far beyond their own borders. The Galactic Concord, however, viewed this rise with growing unease. Their decision to exile humanity had been a calculated risk, meant to protect the galaxy from human recklessness. Now, they faced a species forged in adversity, one whose unity and resilience outmatched their own. To the Concord, the Erythrans were an unpredictable variable, one they could neither fully control nor ignore. Faced with growing tensions, the Concord sent envoys to negotiate. But the Erythrans, confident in their newfound power, made their stance clear. They were no longer subject to the Concord's authority. They were an independent force, capable of shaping their own destiny. With fleets that could navigate the most hostile regions of space and technologies that could be detrimental to humans, humanity was no longer a species to be contained. What had begun as an exile had transformed into an ascension. Erythra had not broken humanity, it had turned them into a superpower. The Erythrians' rapid ascent to power sent shockwaves through the galaxy. Their rise was unprecedented, a stark reminder that adversity could forge strength rather than break it. For the Galactic Concord, this was an unsettling realization. What had once been dismissed as a minor threat had grown into a force capable of challenging the galaxy's status quo. The balance of power was shifting, and the Concord's control was no longer absolute. The Concord's unease turned to alarm when intelligence reports revealed the true extent of Erythran capabilities. Their fleets, designed to endure the ferocious conditions of Erythra, were virtually indestructible in the milder environments of standard galactic space. Their technological innovations, fueled by Vulture Night and perfected through necessity, included energy weapons that operated at unparalleled efficiency and defensive shields that rendered conventional attacks ineffective. The genetic enhancements among Erythrans themselves further amplified their threat, with individuals capable of surviving conditions that would incapacitate other species. The Concord convened emergency meetings to discuss the implications of humanity's rise. Opinions within the Council were divided. Some called for diplomacy, arguing that Erythrians had shown no interest in conquest and that cooperation might stabilize the galaxy. Others, however, viewed them as an existential threat that needed to be neutralized before their power grew further. The idea of a preemptive strike gained traction, fueled by fear and the painful acknowledgement that the exile had failed spectacularly. The Erythans, ever watchful, anticipated the Concord's moves. They had spent decades studying the political structures and military capabilities of their former oppressors, preparing for the day they would be tested. Rather than waiting for the Concord to act, they sent a stark message to the Council, a broadcast that echoed across the galaxy. The broadcast began with a demonstration. A fleet of Erythran terraforming vessels, outfitted with technology derived from their mastery of Erythra, entered a barren, lifeless world on the galactic frontier. Over the course of hours, they unleashed a controlled transformation. The once desolate planet became a replica of Erythra, complete with its storms, hostile flora, and unbreathable atmosphere. It was a chilling display of their technological power, a reminder that they could now replicate the very conditions that had once been used against them. The message was clear. We do not seek war, but we are prepared for it. Erythra was meant to destroy us, yet it made us stronger. Do not mistake our patience for weakness. The galaxy held its breath as the Concord deliberated. A war against the Erythrans would be devastating, but ignoring them would mean relinquishing control. Humanity's survival on Erythra had not just reshaped their destiny, it had redefined the power dynamics of the entire galaxy. The tension between the Galactic Concord and the Erythrans reached its peak, a silent standoff that cast a shadow over the galaxy. The Concord had underestimated humanity at every turn, and now they faced the reality of their unintended creation. The exile to Erythra had not erased humanity, it had forged them into something the Concord could no longer control. As the galaxy watched, smaller civilizations that had suffered under the Concord's rigid laws began rallying around the Erythrans. To them, humanity represented defiance against an oppressive order. The Erythrans, though careful not to position themselves as conquerors, embraced their role as symbols of resilience and independence. Their advanced technology, particularly their terraforming capabilities, became a tool for diplomacy. Worlds once thought uninhabitable were transformed into thriving ecosystems under Erythran guidance, earning them allies and respect across the galaxy. The Concord, now politically fractured, debated its next move. A war with the Erythrans could destabilize the galaxy and threaten the very harmony the Concord had been built to protect. Yet, allowing the Erythrans to operate unchecked seemed equally dangerous. Some factions within the Concord pushed for dialogue, hoping to integrate humanity into a reformed galactic order. Others, however, clung to the belief that humanity's rise was a direct threat to the balance of power. The turning point came when an Erythrian exploration fleet discovered remnants of an ancient, powerful civilization buried beneath the surface of a distant planet. The artifacts they uncovered were unlike anything seen before, vast constructs of energy and matter capable of reshaping entire star systems. The Erythrians approached the Concord with a proposition: collaboration to unlock the secrets of this ancient technology. It was a move that caught the Conquered by surprise. The proposal was more than a diplomatic overture. It was a demonstration of humanity's growth. The Erythrans, once driven by survival alone, now sought partnership, not subjugation. They framed their offer not as a demand, but as a shared opportunity to advance the galaxy as a whole. The Concord, recognizing both the potential and the futility of conflict, reluctantly agreed. This fragile alliance marked a new era. The Erythrans took their place among the galaxy's powers, not as vassals or aggressors, but as equals. Their journey from exile to prominence reshaped the narrative of the Galactic Concord and inspired countless civilizations to question the limits of their own potential. The lesson was clear: adversity could destroy or define. For humanity, it had done both. From the ashes of exile, they had risen, not just to survive, but to lead. The galaxy would never forget what Erythra had created, a superpower born of fire and storm, destined to shape the stars.